Alright, today we're going to be talking about how to get better at Tarkov in just about 24 hours. So in this video, I'm going to be giving a list of quite a few tips that help you get better in Tarkov, and I'm going to be starting with the more simple ones as we head into the more advanced ones. So this video should be great whether you're just starting Tarkov or you're an experienced player, just to give you some good information. Lastly, I think Tarkov and almost any game is broken up into two different categories when in terms of getting good. It's mechanical, and then it's your mindset and your game knowledge. So like the mechanical side of it would be like how well you can aim, how well you can move, can you control recoil, can you know, stuff like that. And then the game sense side is really like how well do you know the maps, how well do you know how to get in and out of positions, like how can you put yourself in the best place to win the fight. So in this video, I'm going to be talking heavily more on the game sense side. I made a video before about PvP tips, which was that there was game sense, but it was mostly a mechanical based video. So feel free to check that out. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the game sense side, and I think if you implement these tips that I talk about right now, you can see quite a bit of improvement in just 24 hours. All right, quickly, I just want to say that we just hit 1,000 subscribers last night, actually, and I just want to say how grateful and thankful I am to anyone who subscribed, liked, commented, or just interacted with my channel at all. It really does help. This is a very cool milestone, and I hope we can continue to grow from here. So, you know, with that said, if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribing, liking, and commenting really does help. And yeah, let's try and grow this number as much as we can. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and just supported the channel at all in the past few months that I've been doing this. Yeah, let's get back into the video. Okay, starting off simple, like I said, is going to be knowing the maps in Tarkov. Having good map knowledge is by far one of the most important things you can do. Knowing where all the loot spots are, where everyone can hide, where common scav points are, this can excel your gameplay probably more than anything. It is the quickest way to jump from a new player to a intermediate player. If you can know the maps, you are already so far ahead of where you would be if you didn't know the maps. Just having complete game sense is and map knowledge is one of the most important things you can do, and I highly recommend you learn the maps. So just typing in Tarkov maps will bring you to multiple sites. You can just choose the first option, which is where I just was. You can click on any map if you would like to learn Shoreline, for example. You just click on it, and it gives you a really good guide to basically everything. Along with that, it shows you the entire health resort, but it basically shows the entire map of where everything is, right? Ground cache, duffel bag, satellite dish. And you don't even need to look at this. You can look at other pictures of the map just to be familiar with it, but just getting a good grasp of everything you need to know about the maps is something incredibly important, and I would recommend you do this as soon as possible if you have not already. Okay, so the second tip, this is going to be another pretty new one, and then in the next tips, we're going to be getting into more experienced ones. But number two, I see a lot of new players spending so much time getting their gun ready and their gear ready, to the point where they're wasting valuable time that they could be either making money or taking PvP engagements and just overall getting better at it. So this does come with time, and it's something that you'll learn eventually. But I would recommend that there's a few things that you can do to increase the gun building and the gear gathering aspect of Tarkov. So for one, if we go into dealers and we can go into the flea market, there's something over here called a wish list. You can add anything you want to it. I don't have a ton on it, but I have the crowned armor, also the Rivals Twitch band, scav backpack, and the bank robber. So when I was first starting this wipe, it was these were common along with the crowned armor. What was common, it was something that I was commonly using. So I added it to my wish list. So instead of having to search, instead of having to search in here scav. And that's pretty easy. Or even having to search like bank or bank robber, I can instead just right when I pop into the flea market, go here, and then I'm at both of them. So little things like this. If you have gear that you commonly run, add it to the wish list. Now, along with that, if you have a gun that you like to run, instead of having to build it every time, there's something called a preset. So a lot of people don't know about this. So a lot of people do know about this. I apologize. A lot of new players don't know about this. If you go into presets, you can add a preset. So basically, how you do this is you take a gun over here. And you can click edit preset, and then it takes the gun into a preset, and then you can type a name in, and you click save as, and you can type a name M4 build or whatever you would like to name it. If you look, I have my preset set. I named most of my guns good. So I have like SVTS good, M1A good, SKS good, and it's different guns. Like if I have my MPX right here, this is an MPX I like to use back in the early stages of the wipe. So yeah, and basically I just go here. Apologize, I'll go back to it just to show you. We'll go MP5 or whatever, and then once you're here, this is a basic one, right? You then click find parts. I like to ding off these two. And then you can just click purchase all, and it'll purchase it, and it'll buy it from the flea market or the traders for the lowest price. And like this one is right, only going to cost me 34,000 rubles and $451, and it gives you an estimated price in rubles. So even though it's only going to cost me 34,000 rubles, it's actually going to cost me that many dollars. So it kind of combines them and adds it down here. But yeah, presets and wish list are just two things that really help new players that can really help you get the gear aspect of Tarkov going a little bit quicker so you can get into a raid as quick as possible. So our next step is going to be knowing when to engage and disengage from fights and when to reposition. So basically what I'm talking about is most commonly inexperienced players, I find that they are hesitant to disengage from a fight. They really want to push forward and they want to keep fighting no matter what, even if they have low health. And that often gets them killed because they're not in the correct position and they don't feel confident repositioning. Now, most commonly in new players, I see they don't want to engage in a fight, and their first instinct is to run away or not push up, which also which gets them killed along with not giving them any experience. So basically, what I would say is you got to find a middle ground and really think about exactly what you're gonna do. So if you're in like a push situation and you don't have very many meds, ammo, nades, or anything, then maybe run away, reposition, change up your location, and try and get a different angle on your opponent. Now, on the same, if you're holding your opponent and you are getting some shots in, you have good meds, some nades, some ammo, feel free to push them. It is okay to push them. You don't always need to push everybody, and it's not a super quick-paced game, but you can, by all means, rush in and try and take someone out if you feel confident. Basically, the main thing is I would really like you guys to in your next game, think about if you're in a position fighting your opponent. Say, what's my gear looking like? Do I have a lot of stuff? It's like, okay, I have a lot of stuff. Maybe I should push in and I can move around and try and fight my opponent. And then let's just say another scenario, you don't have a lot of stuff. You're running low on meds, ammo, whatever it is. Then you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to take this fight. And then you can run away and just kind of preserve your life or run around and get a different angle. Because running away isn't a bad thing. It's better to preserve your life than to die. So just really think about what is going to be most worth it for you in the long term of that game, not what's going to happen in the next 10 seconds or whatever. All right, so the next tip is going to be a pretty important one, whether you're a new player or an experienced player. And that's going to be watching and analyzing people that are better than you, watching and analyzing their gameplay. So someone that's coming to mind right now is Landmark. He's a streamer that I watched when I first started, and I still enjoy to watch. But his movement was obviously a lot better than mine when I first started, and still is. And just his movement, his gameplay, his gun skill, and all that is really important to Tarkov. And I would recommend watching that and kind of like analyzing it. You're right. You don't have to do too much, but just watch it and kind of be like, okay, so he does this a little bit differently than I do that, and oh, the way he does that, I could try that in my next game. And it might take some time, but it's honestly something that is really one of the best ways to get better. And this goes for any game. Watching a professional player play or a player that's better than you and just kind of figuring out how they function is how you get better. That's how you get better in real life on like jobs. You work under someone usually, or you get taught by someone else. But yeah, it's all about like watching the experienced player and trying to copy his gameplay and copy different tactics he does. But yeah, so that's just something that I think is really important, no matter what game or no matter what your skill level is. Okay, and one last major thing that I would recommend to anyone, whether you're new or experienced, is I think a lot of people overlook bullet penetration in this game. Okay, so for example, we have the 7N31 here, and it doesn't actually say the penetration or the damage it does, right? So many people know this is the best 9x19 round, but why exactly is that? Okay, so basically what I would recommend is going over to the ballistics on the Tarkov wiki. This can be found just by searching up Tarkov ammo, Tarkov ballistics. And you can scroll down here, and it tells you right here. So okay, yeah. So 0 is gonna be pointless, meaning the ammo is pointless, and 6 is gonna be basically ignores, meaning it basically ignores the armor. So if you go down here, it goes through basically every single bullet, and it tells you exactly which one is the best. So if we go down to our 9x19 that we were just looking at, and I missed it here, we go. It's right here. Yeah. So we have the 9x19 Parabellum. So it goes from our rip rounds being almost 0 at every single armor. So this is the armor effectiveness, right? Armor level 1 all the way to 6. So we got rip is terrible across the board. Quakemaker is really good for armor level 1, and after that it becomes pretty dull. You get PSO, GZH, really good at 1, not very good at anything else. And then it keeps going all the way to 7N31. That is really good. It's honestly, it's really good all the way to 4. It's pretty mediocre at 5, and it's slightly lackluster when it comes to an armor class 6. But as you can see, out of all of these, the 7N31 is the best. So why is it the best? Well, because you see the damage and the penetration power. So the penetration over here is 39, which means that's penetrating the armor, and then the damage is how much damage it does to the body. So with this in mind, you should really look at this and know what ammo you're bringing in, because let's just say you're bringing something in like a Quakemaker round or a rip round. The rip round, as you can see right here, it's pretty horrible against all armors. Luckily, people's feet don't have armor, or sometimes they won't be wearing a face shield. So in that situation, maybe shooting at the feet might be, or their legs might be the best solution for you. Of course, the thorax is generally where you want to hit, but if it's not going to do anything to the chest area, there's no point. Now at 7N31, if you're going against a level 5 armor or whatever, shooting at the feet might not be the best solution, because it does penetrate pretty well. It has a high penetration, and it can get through an armor. So you kind of got to figure out where you want to shoot, and that goes for a lot of things. There is some shotgun ammo down here. All right, yeah. So the shotgun ammo right here, for example, let's just look like the AP20, which is a pretty common shotgun ammo. It has a very high penetration power, as you can see, with 37. So that means it's going to be that's why it's super effective across everything, across the armor. So shooting someone in the chest is not a bad idea. But if we come down here and we look at something like, the strap 10, this is not going to be as good, because the penetration power is 11. So it's not going to be nearly as good. Or something like the strap 25 even. It's not going to be nearly as good later on. Even at armor class 3, it's only a 3 effectiveness, which is not great. So in these situations, shooting a strap 10 at the legs can be the most beneficial, and you can honestly one-shot someone with that. So just kind of knowing which ammo is better to shoot where is something really important to know in Tarkov, because ammo is a really complex thing in the game, and knowing exactly how it works is one of the most beneficial things you can do. Okay guys, so that's basically going to be it. So the video is titled How to Get Better in 24 Hours. And basically, no matter whether you're a new player or an experienced player, I think if you take these tips to heart and actively think about them in your next game, it's gonna help you. So obviously, if you're a new player, something like learning the maps is going to be one of the most beneficial things you can do in all of Tarkov. But if you're a more experienced player, and you found yourself in the last game, maybe rushing into a player because you thought they were low and you really wanted the kill, but then they peeked out and they killed you because you didn't have your gun up, and you were accidentally rushing in when you maybe should have backed up, repositioned, and then maybe gotten the kill. So yeah, so just thinking about different things I talked about in this video, no matter how minor they are, a lot of people, including myself, overlook these and think we do them. But if you actually think about it, a lot of us really do miss out on a lot of these tips, and it does hinder our gameplay. So yeah, I hope I just provided some good examples of things that we can all improve on. And yeah, I really hope this video helped. If you enjoyed, a like and a subscribe is definitely appreciated. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.